Have you ever felt like you have this endless capacity to listen to everyone else's problems, but the second you try to say no or step back, you are flooded with intense, overwhelming guilt? Like your pen instantly screams, you are being selfish, you are letting them down. And if that sounds familiar, I want to share something with you that took a long time for me to also understand. What you were taught to call empathy might actually be the survival tactic. How? Today, we are going to talk about the dark side of hyperempathy, how a childhood role can trick you into thinking self abandonment as love, and why setting boundaries feels so terrifying. How empathy was built in you. Now, most people assume empathy is just something you are born with, a natural trait. And while that's partially true, empathy can also be forced to grow in an environment that needed it too much. In psychology, there is a dynamic called parentification or emotional caretaking. It happens when a parent consciously or not looks to their child to be their emotional anchor. Maybe they were overwhelmed, stressed, struggling themselves, and they need a safe, non judgmental listener. So, as a kid, what did you learn? You learned that in order to keep the peace and stay safe, you have to become hyper aware of the emotions in the room. You learn to scan the faces, read the tone shifts, and put your own needs back burner so that you can soothe the adult. Your empathy didn't grow out for free choice. It grew because it was useful and was become a safety mechanism for yourself as well. Why you have no stop button as an adult? Now fast forward to adulthood. You are a grown person, you can handle the issues, whatever is coming, you are using the same operational system. When someone calls you, someone comes to you with an issue, you don't just listen, you absorb the emotion, you step into fix it mode, and when your battery is completely drained, you still can't stop because your nervous system treat stepping away is a threat to the relationship. So, what does healthy empathy mean? How can we get over this conditional caretaking? How can we just observe feeling but not absorb the feeling? How can we create clear boundaries when we are adult and we have lived through not having any boundaries? How we can keep connected to ourselves and how we can remove the requirement of self abandonment to help or to make our presence feel good. So, listen to this. When you lack boundaries, that is a part where you feel guilty. You are practicing not in healthy empathy, but you are practicing to give someone a safe space by abandoning yourself, especially if there is no boundary. So, while creating a boundary, the biggest obstacle that we face is the guilt. Now, we'll talk about the boundary guilt paradox. Why does setting a simple limit, like saying, I don't have emotional bandwidth for this today, feels like just committing a crime? It's because your brain is confusing the discomfort with danger. When you set a boundary, three things usually happen. Your childhood rule is broken. You were conditioned to believe having needs was wrong. Another one, boundary shock. The other person might be disappointed because they are used to you always saying yes. And identity panic. Your mind asks, if I am not fixing things, who am I to this person? I want you to write this down or take a screenshot of something which is mentioned already in the explanation. Guilt is not a proof that you did something bad. It is just a proof that you are breaking an old habit. I'll repeat this for you. Guilt is not a proof that you did something bad. It is just a proof that you are breaking an old habit. So let's come to how to reclaim your energy. I'll give you 3 steps. So, how do we fix this without turning cold or heartless? You don't have to stop caring about the people. This is very important. You just have to start including yourself in that care. So, what are these 3 steps? Step number 1, label the guilt. When that sinking feeling that tells yourself this boundary is guilt, not remorse. I haven't harmed anyone. I'm just honoring my own tank or baggage of emotions. Stay there with it. When you label it, you will feel more calm with yourself. You are holding your emotion. Step number 2, check your internal battery. Before you say, sure, tell me what's wrong, take a pause. Give yourself 3 seconds and then ask yourself, am I offering the space out of genuine abundance or out of letting them down? When you realize that this is something for which you have energy enough to explain or to listen without abandoning yourself or without having a fear of letting them down, you are able to understand, do you have energy for it or not? Now again, step number 3 is still there. Resist over explaining. So even though if you are able to listen, the most important thing when you set a boundary is to keep it short. You don't need a 5-paragraph text explaining why you can't talk right now. Over explaining treats your boundary like a request for permission. I'll repeat that. Over explaining treats your boundary like a request for permission. A simple, I am at a restricted capacity today, but I hope things will go smoothly, is complete. No is complete. So, what you have done in these 3 steps? Firstly, you have understood that your guilt is not a punishment. The second thing, you hold space for yourself to understand, do you have a battery to listen to the other person or not? Third, you resist over explaining, which means you are saving your energy and you are very precise about you are listening, but you are not absorbing the emotion because you are saving your energy while keeping the relationship intact as well. So, for all the caretakers here, this is your reminder. Real empathy requires an edge. A boundary isn't a wall to keep your people out. It is just a structure that keeps you from burning to the ground while keeping someone else warm. You are allowed to have limits. You have been allowing everyone till the time you are getting tired. But now you know what is boundary. And you don't owe the world your complete exhaustion. If this resonated with you, give this video a like and drop a comment below sharing one boundary you're trying to set this week. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into psychology and growth. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.